else at axs.com. Caller 10, these tickets are yours. Last pair this week. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Welcome back.
Local DJ and all-around female orgasm denier, Alan Cox.
This is the Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7.
They are licking their wounds still from that 6-0 final here at home against the White Sox. They will stay at home and gear up for the Cardinals of St. Louis tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. 7:10 is your first pitch tomorrow. And then Memorial Day proper, they will head off to Baltimore to play the Orioles. And then they'll go up to play the Twins. And then they'll come back home to host the Boston Red Sox. Corey Kluber, former Indian, not having a good time, by the way, with the Boston Red Sox. They signed him to a one-year deal, but paid him a lot of money, and he's flopping hard. So, like, they pulled him out of the starting rotation.
Check's still clear, though.
Yeah, they do.
Paying
But
that money.
I know, but it's got to suck when somebody gives you, like, a deal because you're hot. And then you get there, and, I mean, everybody gets cold. But, man, as a competitor, I know, as a competitor and as an athlete, you got to be like, oh, my God, this sucks. Because if you get paid, and again, he's not on, it's $10 million a year, right, for 1 year. See how he could do. But if you're one of these guys that signs like an 8 years, $450 million deal, it's great if you get in there and just start murdering, like as advertised. But if you get the yips.
I mean, if the money's guaranteed,
I know.
Yeah, you're going to feel like, bummer. But
yeah,
I'll
drive home in my Ferrari.
Yeah,
I know.
Maybe having some poop dreams, but I'm still going to cash the checks.
Oh, boy. I do love, you have to be very careful in any area of broadcasting, right? You have to make sure that you're articulating properly. The SEC baseball tournament is in full swing. It says Auburn, my dad's alma mater, War Eagle, facing Vanderbilt. This was last night. Very exciting. Vandy wins 6-4, but the guy calling the game kind of flubbed a little bit and had to catch himself.
We can't turn the we can't turn the clock back. I know it's after midnight. We can't turn the clock back and turn it back into the mid-'80s.
Mm-hmm. You can't do that. Boy,
you can't
I'll
if you
what.
head to Geraci's. It's got 80s vibes all through it.
Yeah, delicious. So you can't turn the clock back. Is of course what he was trying to say. You got to be careful trying to turn that clock back.
We can't turn the we can't turn the clock back.
The other guy's like, "Whoa, what's happening here?" Poundcake, have you see about the Black Dictionary? Is this on your radar at all?
The Black Dictionary?
Yeah, the first African-American dictionary.
I thought we already had this. Urban
I
Dictionary.
thought there
Didn't we
was
invent
too,
that?
but I was reading an article about the Oxford Dictionary.
Well, if it's the Black Dictionary, it's Oxford.
Oxford. The Oxford Dictionary of African American English. This feels like echoes of Ebonics 25 years ago.
Yeah, right?
Let me ask you a question.
Harvard University and Oxford University Press have collaborated, and they're going to publish the first 1,000 words in 2025. It focuses solely on words with African-American origins. So the entries are like, and again, so much of it is slang. Slang works its way into any dictionary. But bussin' is going to be in there. Grill.
I think this is going to...
Cakewalk. Is cakewalk black slang? Man, that's a cakewalk. Does it mean something different now?
I don't think so.
Maybe
I
the
think
origins of it is something.
I'm appealing to the black half of you. The white half is as clueless as I am.
Well, I am clueless, but also I understand
Okay.
I sympathize with the struggle of black people, but I can't necessarily say I relate because I've always been like, quote unquote, passing my entire life.
See, this is why I think you relate more, because you're not. You said it. You're not black enough for black people. You're not white enough for white people.
My race is not black nor white. My race is biracial. That is what I relate to, because black people won't get it. They be like, oh, you don't have no struggle.
No, but
white people be like,
here's what I never understood. the way you describe it is, or the way people treat you, I should say. I think you're describing it accurately. The way people treat you. I never understood why, instead of biracial, meaning you identify with both, people treat biracial like you can't identify with either.
But
Like it negates both of them rather than amplifying both.
That's because there's colorism on both sides.
I understand that.
So that in a perfect world, yeah, I would be able to relate to both. But because there is,
But you
both sides are
literally
treated-
can. I don't know why people treat biracial people like you think that they'd be like, here's somebody that's got way more information than I do.
Yes, but different races are treated differently, and that is the reason why the struggle exists. Like color-wise, yes, I understand the slang, I understand the music and the cookouts and all that stuff. I get that part. Those are all the good things about being black. You feel a part of a community. Also, white, you feel less oppression. You feel more. I guess adapted to society. I guess you don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about getting pulled over and
Yeah, but you
fearing
do
for my
because
life.
you look black.
Some people would disagree with you on that.
The black people would disagree with me on that.
There are
but the
days-
white people absolutely wouldn't disagree. What I'm saying, and obviously I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm just saying that
It's like the houseboy syndrome. That's
how
what they
you
call it.
look is how people react initially. So if you go, I'm biracial, everybody's going to have their takes on that. But as far as like using the example of getting pulled over, being half white isn't going to help you in that situation.
I'm saying black people know that I'm not fully black. White people don't even think I'm black. They think I could be Italian, I'm Latino. They don't immediately go to he's biracial.
I see what you mean.
I'm not automatically black. I'm a person of color to white people.
A POC.
Black people are like
POS.
he's like
That's you and me. That's not, yeah.
And so like that's how it's kind of been my entire life. My brother looks darker than I am. He is not considered passing. He looks like a black man.
Yeah. I wonder why that is.
And I'm considered passing because I have my features are a lot lighter. I have my dad's hair, and then I don't know why I just look a lighter complexion, and I
Yeah.
carry myself differently. My brother carries himself like a black man, and he looks like a black man. So my black side of the family, which I was raised by, they always looked at him. They're like, okay, now you watch how your brother, and this wasn't.
Oh God, they were trying to get you to take black lessons from your brother.
No, they weren't. They were telling my brother, look how trying to show like the racial differences. Look how Cody
vice
is
versa.
treated.
Mm-hmm.
Look how they treat Cody versus you, and you'll see the difference. And
Was that
ever?
ever either spoken or not? Was that ever a source of resentment on your brother's part?
No, because we were both born to the same mother. We just couldn't help it. We got different genes. But
No, I know, but I mean, if you were treated differently outwardly, I wonder if that would be. I don't know.
well, no, because
I'm projecting a lot of. I don't know.
If it wasn't toward my brother and I never had that because he knows that I can't help it. But I do things and not realizing it. Like he'd be like, "That's some white stuff," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're white, so you don't realize you're privileged." I'm like, "Oh, I get it." He's like, "Yeah, you do stuff like that because you're white."
What, the Pee Wee Herman laugh?
Just whatever. I have mostly white friends, and then my black girlfriends are white. I've dated,
And you have mostly white boyfriends too.
correct,
Yeah.
and that's a source from like all my black family members. They have dated black women,
Right.
except my brother. But then again, he's
You should
biracial.
show them and start dating a black woman.
Or a white woman.
That would surprise
you
them.
just made a mess.
That would, I date a black woman. They're like, he's straight and he's down with the swirl.
Yup.
That's so
it.
funny.
See, that's his butch laugh. Work the butch laugh out more.
That's so funny. Yeah, so it's just like
All right. Well, anyway, 2025 is when the African American Dictionary is going to be dropped. They have dropped the first 10 terms so far: bussin', grill, promised land, chitlins, kitchen. You know what that is? It's your hair back there.
See, if
your kitchen. You got your kitchen straight?
I knew that one, but I feel like this is going to do more harm than good because first of all, black people already know what type of they don't like people taking their terms because they feel like when white people repeat it, they're trying to like mock them or something. I remember when I was younger, my brother used to get so mad.
Dude, that's cap.
No, but some of these are, man, Aunt Hagar's children. You got to be a history or divinity major to even know that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, black people don't need it in a dictionary. We have a slang of our own, and that's why it's called slang. Like, I first read...
Maybe this is to help people who aren't... I don't know.
I first read about Ebonics in college, and I was like, what is that? What is Ebonics? And I was reading, like, the slang that we used to, like, talk about. Like, we used to use these slangs, and seeing it in a history book just was weird because you're reading it incorrectly, like the way it would be said. So it was just odd. When we would see bad kids, we'd be like, oh, look at those Bebe's kids over there. I saw Bebe's kids.
Robin Harris.
Based off of like the TV. I was like, oh my God, Bebe's kids is in here. My brother used to get so mad because there was a Disney Channel show called Danny Phantom. And in Danny Phantom, he had a black friend. And she'd be like, yeah, I mean, I be kicking. He was like, oh my gosh, this show is racist. Because why whenever they have like a black friend in there, they're always talking like, yeah, man, we about to go home, kick it in the club, or like, man, I'm going to the crib.
What do you think is a good representation of a black character on a cartoon show?
This one.
Oh, you just made a mess. That's actually me imitating a white woman. I don't know. Is it how many black?
Tucker Foley was the kid on Danny Phantom.
Gerald from.
No. I'm talking. It's Danny Phantom's friend, like his black.
Yeah.
She's a girl, and she has like black hair, and she's like, man, let's get
I thought
out
he
here.
just had I thought his black friend was a boy on that show.
No, it's a girl.
Was it Gerald from Hey Arnold?
Gerald from Hey Arnold was actually pretty cool. He was the cool kid, actually.
Yeah. What about
Franklin from Snoopy?
Now,
Skeeter from Doug?
There you go.
Skeeter from Doug was cool, but
Even though
I think
he's
he was
blue.
I was like, he was blue.
He's blue, but he is black.
And see, they
Patty
did,
Mayonnaise is black too.
we enjoyed the Proud Family because it was diverse. They had the wide range of the family. They had, the crazy dad who was black, and then the Gross sisters were so black that they were blue, and they were bullies. Dijonay and all of her sisters, BB and Cece.
Who was the girl on? She was like Angelica's rival, and she was a black girl, but she was like the older on Rugrats.
Susie.
Was it Susie?
It was Susie. And Susie was smart too. I like it when they have those, but it's just really weird when they have these cartoon characters speak in slang, and I'm like, did they catch up on this character? Did they read about this character? And they're like, oh, I can't wait to bring this character to life, man. They're around
the Boondocks.
Yeah, but that's done by a famous actress.
No, I know.
And that's not for kids either.
No, I know.
I love the Boondocks though. Gay. Pause. You gay.
Boondocks is one of those shows. Boondocks is one of those shows that you can laugh so hard at, but you're also like, I feel terrible right now.
I've never seen that.
Oh,
you haven't? It was a comic book, and then they animated it.
If you watch one episode, watch either the R. Kelly episode where he's like, R. Kelly ain't Martin Luther King. We understand that they put innocent black men in jail, but R. Kelly is not that N-word. R. Kelly is not him. And then, or you can watch the Grandpa is Dating a Hoe episode. She was like, I'm a hoe. What do you mean? And Cat Williams makes an appearance there. So I'm cool if black people are all playing the episodes, but I don't want one token black character in a cartoon and then they say slang. That pisses me off.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, because it's like they've reserved all of that for that one character.
They're like, okay, hey, I heard this word on 6th Avenue when I was like driving past today. Why don't you bring this into the character? I feel like it's like a white producer coming in and telling them to say stuff. I'm like, let a black person do that and actually talk like a black person and not what they studied at Juilliard or whatever.
I just remember when I was a kid, X-Men was probably my favorite comic. I was reading a lot of comics at any given time. And I had such a huge crush on Storm, who was a black woman from Africa or something like that. But the cartoon characters and the comic book characters of black people at the time were essentially like, they weren't like that. It was more like they were regal and they were descended from African royalty. And so it was very kind of, you weren't getting like that stereotypical vibe from them, how they were written, how they were acted out. That's why the Boondocks was so funny when it came along, because it was so different than all that other stuff. Eddie Murphy had a cartoon called The PJs. Remember that?
Yeah, it was
a
stop
long
motion,
time ago.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. But that was kind of along those lines, too. But the African American dictionary is going to drop in 2025. I mean, Ebonics started in like the early 70s.
That's when they
So
started
I wasn't sure
studying it.
why like the mid 90s was when it got to be. I know there were a couple of school boards that had adopted it in the mid 90s, but it had been around for like 20 years. I wasn't sure why it got to be. I guess that was just its time. I don't know. Oh, got a burp there.
My bad. Okay, so it wasn't Danny Phantom. It was American Dragon, and the girl's name was Trixie.
American Dragon.
It was American Dragon on Nickelodeon. The girl's name was Trixie, and she had like puffballs, and she had like her shirt. She was wearing like a I don't know, whatever, a cut off T-shirt, a tank top.
Oh, okay.
And she always like, hey man, let's go to the crib. Like she would talk so stereotypical.
To the A, to the K, to the... Yeah, Professor Rockwood. This is mythology class up in here, right? So how can you know about the size of a dragon's brain? I mean, elves, unicorns, this stuff isn't even really real, yo.
Yes, yeah, well, you know, this is certainly the prevailing belief now, isn't it, you know?
AOJ.
See? It's so
Yeah.
stereotypical. He was like, I can't watch this show. It makes me so mad.
It's crackulating, baby.
What's
Crackulating.
crackulating? Wow.
And plus, it was an Asian guy talking about American Dragon. Like, that was the name of the TV show.
Yo, what's up, Trixie? Spud? We cruising over to Washington Park right about now. We're gonna shred some serious asphalt. Last time we hit that place, Spud got a concussion. Yeah, whatever. So what up? You in or are you in?
All right, there you go. I've never even heard of American Dragon.
I haven't either.
Shows in my childhood.